My fellow Americans, gather round and listen well. These words before you, expand the house, are not merely a slogan. They're a battle cry for our very democracy. Look around you. Look at the cities growing, the towns expanding, the families growing larger each day. Our great nation is bursting with new life, new energy, new voices clamoring to be heard. And yet, in the hallowed halls of our capital, the same 435 representatives sit as they have since 1929, frozen in time while America marches forward. I tell you today, this must end. This presentation is not a request. It is a demand. It is a call to arms for every man and woman who believes in the promise of this nation. We are here to fight for the most fundamental right of citizenship, the right to be represented, the right to be heard, the right to have your voice matter in the laws that govern your life. The American people deserve more than 435 voices for 122 million citizens. They deserve a House of Representatives that truly represents them. Give every American a voice. This is our mission. This is our duty. Stand with me as we demand justice for all Americans. Let me show you exactly what is happening to our democracy. Look at these cold, hard numbers, numbers that cannot lie. In 1920, just 10 short years ago, our great nation counted 106,021,537 souls. 106 million Americans seeking representation in their government. And now, in 1930, after a decade of progress, of growth, of families building their futures, we count 122,775,046 Americans. 122 million. That is an increase of 16,753,509 people. A staggering 7% growth. 16 million more Americans. Think about that. 16 million more voices needing to be heard. 16 million more citizens looking to their government for representation. And how has our government responded? How has the House of Representatives grown to meet this new reality? It has not grown at all. Still 435 members. Still the same number that was set based on the 1910 census, 20 years ago. While America added 16 million people, Congress added 0 representatives. Every year that passes, every day that goes by, more Americans are born into this world. More families arrive on our shores seeking freedom and opportunity. More citizens reach the age of voting, and all of them are squeezed into the same districts, represented by the same overburdened congressmen. This is not merely unfair. This is a betrayal of democratic principle. This is not how our government was meant to work. The problem is clear, the numbers are undeniable, and the solution must come now. Now, let us turn back to the very beginning, to the men who forged this nation from the fires of revolution. Let us look to George Washington, our first president, the father of our country. When our Constitution was being written, when the very structure of our government was being debated, George Washington himself stood up and spoke. He said one representative for every 30,000 people. Think about that vision. One voice for 30,000 citizens. That is what the great man who led our armies to victory believed was proper representation. And look to James Madison, the architect of the Constitution, the man who crafted the very words that govern us today. He proposed a maximum ratio of one representative for every 50,000 people. These were not idle suggestions. These were the heartfelt beliefs of the men who created this democracy. They understood that as a nation grows, so must its government. They understood that representation is the lifeblood of democracy. But what do we see today? The reality makes my blood boil. Today, each and every representative in the House serves not 30,000 people, not 50,000 people, but 760,000 people. More than 15 times what Madison proposed. The House was never meant to stand still. The House was meant to grow with the nation, to expand as America expanded. Washington and Madison did not build a government of stagnation. They built a government of growth. We have betrayed their vision. We have betrayed their trust. We must return to the principles that founded this great nation. Here, my friends, is the very moment our democracy began to fail. The Permanent Apportionment Act of 1929, a law that should never have been passed. This is the act that locked the House of Representatives at 435 members. Do you know what number this was based on? The 1910 census. Can you believe it? Our most sacred democratic institution is sized according to population numbers that are now 20 years old. 20 years of American growth, ignored by the very government meant to represent it. Let me tell you what this means in practical terms. In 1910, America had 92 million people. In 1930, we have 122 million, an increase of 30 million citizens. And yet the House remains at 435. When this law was passed, each representative served approximately 211,000 people. Today, that number has grown to over 280,000. In just one decade, the burden on each congressman has increased by nearly 70,000 constituents. How can one man adequately represent the needs of nearly 300,000 people? How can he know their concerns, hear their voices, fight their battles? The politicians in Washington, afraid of losing their power, afraid of new voices, afraid of change, they passed this law to freeze their positions. They locked the doors of democracy behind them. And since then, while America has grown and prospered, while new cities have risen and old towns have expanded, our Congress has remained frozen in time. This 1929 freeze must end. It must end now. There is only one path forward, my friends, and it is clear. Expand the House now. Not in the next session of Congress, not after the next election, not when the politicians finally get around to it now. We must expand the House to keep pace with America's growth. We must follow the founders' vision of growing representation. This is not a radical idea. This is the most conservative idea imaginable. It is a return to the original principles of our nation. Think about what this means. Smaller districts mean better representation. When a congressman represents 280,000 people, how can he possibly know them all? How can he understand the needs of the farmer in Iowa and the factory worker in Pennsylvania and the shopkeeper in Georgia? But when districts are smaller, when each representative serves, say, 100,000 or 150,000 people, then true representation becomes possible. Then your congressman can know your name, understand your concerns, fight for your interests. Every American deserves to be heard. The grandmother in Ohio, the young worker in Michigan, the veteran in Texas, the immigrant in New York. Every single one of them deserves a voice in Washington. And that can only happen when we have enough representatives to truly represent them. Do not let the cynics tell you it cannot be done. Do not let the politicians tell you it is too difficult. They said the same thing about ending slavery. They said the same thing about giving women the vote. They were wrong then, and they are wrong now. Expand the House and restore democracy to the American people. You may ask, why does this matter so much? Why should we fight so hard for more representatives? Let me tell you exactly why this matters. Because better representation means better government for every single American citizen. First, better constituent services. When your congressman has fewer people to serve, he can actually help you. You can walk in his office and be heard. You can call on the phone and get a response. Your problems can be addressed. Today, with nearly 300,000 constituents, your congressman is overwhelmed. He cannot possibly serve everyone. But with more representatives, the government becomes more responsive to your needs. Second, stronger accountability. When a congressman serves 280,000 people, who can hold him accountable? No single voter matters much. But when he serves 100,000 people, each vote counts more. He must listen. He must respond. He must serve. Corruption thrives in the shadows of districts too large to manage. Accountability shines in the light of smaller constituencies. Third, closer connections between people and their representatives. Democracy is not just about voting. It is about relationship. It is about knowing who represents you. It is about being able to speak to them face to face. Today, most Americans have never met their congressman. They do not know his name. They do not know where his office is. This is not democracy. This is distance. With more representatives, we bridge that gap. We bring government closer to the people. Fourth, more effective lawmaking. Today, 435 congressmen struggle to understand the needs of 122 million people. They cannot possibly be experts on every issue. But with more representatives, each can specialize. Each can become a true expert on the needs of their community. Better laws will result. Better solutions will emerge. This is not just about numbers. This is about making your government work for you. This is about democracy that truly represents the people. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, this all sounds wonderful, but what can I do? I am just one person. Let me tell you, my friend, one person can change the world. One person can start a movement. One person can restore democracy. Here is exactly what you can do, starting today. First, join local civic organizations. The League of Women Voters, the Rotary Club, the Chamber of Commerce, labor unions, farmers associations. Wherever citizens gather, there is power. Organize. Unite. Make your voice heard together. Second, speak at town hall meetings. When your congressman comes to your town, stand up. Speak out. Demand answers. Ask why your district is too large. Ask why your voice is not being heard. Make them look you in the eye and explain why they refuse to expand the House. Third, start petitions. Gather signatures from your neighbors. Show them that the people demand representation. 1,000 signatures is a beginning. 10,000 signatures is a movement. 100,000 signatures is revolution. Fourth, contact your local newspapers. Write letters to the editor. Make sure your community knows about this issue. Spread the word. Educate your fellow citizens. Democracy requires an informed public. Fifth, form study groups. Learn the history. Understand the Constitution. Know your rights. When you are armed with knowledge, you become powerful. When you understand the issues, you can persuade others. Sixth, educate your neighbors. Talk to the people on your street. Discuss this issue at your church, at your school, at your workplace. Every person you inform is another soldier in this fight. Suivante, attends congressional hearing. When committees meet, be there. Watch. Listen. Let them know you are watching. Transparency is the enemy of corruption. Eighth, volunteer for campaigns. Support candidates who promise to expand the House. Work for their elections. Help them win. This is how we change Congress, by changing who serves in it. Ninth, write letters to the editor. Not just once, but again and again. Keep the issue in the public eye. Never let them forget that the people demand representation. 10th, organize community meetings. Bring your town together. Discuss the issues. Plan actions. Mobilize the citizens. When the people are united, the politicians must listen. Every action matters. Every voice counts. Every citizen can make a difference. This is your democracy. Fight for it. This is your country. Save it. This is your duty. Fulfill it. My friends, we have traveled a long road together today. We have examined the cold hard facts. We have looked back to the wisdom of our founders. We have seen how our democracy has been frozen in time. We have understood what must be done. Let me now summarize what we have learned, for these are truths that every American must carry in their heart. First, America is growing, but representation is not. Our nation has added 16 million people in 10 years, yet the House of Representatives has not added even one. This is not sustainable. This is not acceptable. This is not democracy. Second, the founders intended the House to grow with the nation. Washington and Madison did not create a stagnant government. They created a living, breathing democracy that would expand as America expanded. We have abandoned their vision. We must return to it. Third, the 1929 freeze has created a crisis of representation. By locking the House at 435 members based on 1910 population, Congress has created a system where citizens are increasingly disconnected from their government. This crisis threatens the very foundation of our democracy. Fourth, expanding the House is essential for democracy. Without it, representation becomes meaningless. Without it, government becomes distant and unresponsive. Without it, the promise of America is broken. This is not a choice. This is our democratic duty. Every generation of Americans has faced challenges that tested their commitment to democracy. Our grandparents fought in the Great War. Our parents weathered the Great Depression. Our brothers and sisters are enduring this economic crisis. Now it is our turn. Our challenge is to restore true representation to the American people. The future of our democracy depends on our action today. Do not look to others to solve this problem. Do not wait for the politicians to change their minds. They will not change unless we force them to change. They will not expand the House unless we demand it. They will not restore democracy unless we fight for it. I call upon each and every one of you to take up this cause. Make it your own. Carry it forward. Never give up. Never surrender. Democracy is not a gift. It is a constant struggle that each generation must win anew. Today, my friends, it is our turn to fight. Are you ready? Are you willing? Are you prepared to stand for democracy? Stand up, America. Stand up and be counted. The time for talking is over. The time for action has arrived. I demand today, right now, that each of you commit to this cause with every fiber of your being. Write to your congressman today. Not tomorrow, today. Pick up that pen. Write that letter. Tell them you demand House expansion. Tell them you will not accept anything less. Tell them your vote depends on their action. Flood their offices with mail. Bury them in letters. Make it impossible for them to ignore your voice. Demand House expansion. Say it loud. Say it proud. Do not be afraid. Do not be silent. Your voice is your power. Your voice is your right. Your voice is your weapon in this fight. Use it. Make your voice heard. Speak to your neighbors. Speak to your friends. Speak to strangers on the street. Spread this message far and wide. Let it echo from coast to coast. Let it ring from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The people demand representation. Do it for your children. Think about the world they will inherit. Do you want them to live in a democracy where their voices are ignored? Do you want them to serve a government that does not represent them? No. Fight today, so they will not have to fight tomorrow. Do it for your grandchildren. Build a legacy of democracy that will last for generations. Show them what it means to be an American. Show them that we will not accept less than full representation. Do it for the future of America. This great nation was built on the promise of government of the people, by the people, for the people. That promise is being broken today. That promise must be restored. That promise must be fulfilled. The time for waiting is over. The time for patience is past. The time for action is now. Together, we can build a democracy that truly represents all Americans. Together, we can restore the vision of Washington and Madison. Together, we can ensure that every voice is heard. Act now for democracy. Act now for America. Act now for the future. My friends, I know that some may doubt what I have said today. Some may think these are merely my opinions. Let me assure you, these are not opinions. These are facts. These are the truths of our history, recorded in the very documents that founded this nation. Look to the Reapportionment Act of 1929. Read it for yourself. It is there in black and white, the law that froze our democracy. Look to the 1930 United States Census. The numbers do not lie. 122,775,046 Americans, all demanding representation. Look to the writings of the founders, the Federalist Papers, the constitutional debates, the letters of Washington and Madison, all available for any citizen to read. Look to the historical record, congressional documents, census reports, the very words spoken in the chambers of our government. All bear witness to the truth I have spoken today. Everything I have told you today is documented, proven, and true. The evidence is clear. The history is clear. The path forward is clear. There is no room for doubt. There is no room for hesitation. There is only room for action. These sources are not just academic exercises. They are the weapons of truth in our fight for democracy. Arm yourselves with knowledge. Arm yourselves with facts. When you stand before your congressman, when you speak at town halls, when you write your letters, speak with the confidence of truth. Speak with the power of history on your side. Now, the choice is yours. Stand for truth and democracy, or stand for ignorance and stagnation. I choose truth. I choose democracy. I choose the future of America. And I call upon all of you to make the same choice.